We're back. Welcome to Big Talk,
Big talk.
the
No small
realest,
talk.
the realest podcast in the multiverse.
Yep. Whatever
We-
he said.
We lit. I'm your host, Indigo, aka Justin, aka whatever the hell you want to call me.
And I'm Achilles, Luis, Miguel. The rest you guys know. Maybe. I don't know.
It's lit. And we're here for another episode of Big Talk.
Yeah.
The first episode's not out yet, but we're working on that. That's gonna be out, and this one should be out soon after that. So we're here on Earth Day. Happy Earth Day! Shout out to Earth.
Shout out.
Thank you to the Earth for allowing us to be here right now,
Holding us down, man.
holding us down with all the water, all the food, just this experience. If we didn't have the Earth, we
Fishes.
wouldn't be here right now. So, my gratitude to you, Mother Earth. I love you.
Plants.
All that good stuff.
Oxygen.
And yeah, we're here. Where we're gonna go with this, we don't know, but it's big talk, and there's no small talk allowed. So we're just gonna have big talk conversations. So
Of course.
if you're ready to come along for the ride with us, let's fucking go.
Let's go.
All right, where do we start, man?
Okay. It looked like you were the one that drank coffee today, not me.
Fuck it. It be like that.
That was a good intro. That was
All right.
good.
So, how have you been feeling? What you been up to these days?
Been up to, working, staying at home. What I've done. Let me see. Stayed at home a few days, few lazy days, how we were talking about earlier. Just having like a day like to just relax, be myself and stuff like that. And I feel guilty about, being too unproductive. But is it like, we were saying, like, is it being unproductive when you're supposed to take a day off and just chill out and just, not feel guilty about it? You know what I'm saying? Just that. How about you? What you been up to?
Man, life right now has just been so filled. Sometimes it feels like it's hard to find a moment, like what you said, to kind of like do nothing, because I have like, as small business owners, you own this studio.
Yeah.
You're also putting in work for another studio, and me as a small business owner in my own regard, where it'd be like I'm doing videos for my music, recording at home, finding time to improve myself, finding time to write. It's
a lot.
Finding ways to what's it called? Just to revamp myself and learn more. Like, there's so much that goes into it. And right now I feel like I'm in such a zone where it's like, yo, I could do this to improve in all those areas. And now that I have so much extra time for a reason that I'm going to tell you later on in this podcast.
Oh.
I have so much extra time, and it's given. It's not like, oh, I got extra time now. It's like, I got the time now.
Yeah.
So I've been feeling really good. I made some big decisions, and I'm feeling really good about them. And yeah, I've been feeling good.
What do you feel like that thing when you say like now you got the time? You feel like that's something that you're allowing yourself now to have the time? Is a mental thing, or you feel like it's
both.
more,
It's both. Because you could have all the time in the world and still not utilize that to its greatest potential.
Yeah,
which is why sometimes I guess we could feel like, oh shit, like I could have done more with this time or whatever it may be. But it's also the balance of, taking care of yourself and being kind to yourself. So for me personally, like, all right, I'll get into it. So for me, you could say that I struggled a little bit with like my just how would I call it? Like my schedule, my day-to-day schedule of like what I want to get done. Like sometimes I could get lost, get like sidetracked on YouTube and shit like that. And
happens to all of us.
That happens and shit like that. But there's been a very big change in that, in me realizing some new interests. Not even new, just interests that have been like revitalized in me. For example, I'm learning how to use my voice now. I'm learning how to sing rather than just like going on the mic and just like doing what I know. Like I'm putting an active effort into learning about where my voice comes from, how it works and things like that. So I've been spending some time reading about that. I've been spending time learning more about interests that I'm interested. Yeah. Like kind of like focusing on
being
that.
more curious and stuff.
And part of it is because of what happened a couple of days ago, which goes back to one of the topics that we spoke about in the first Big Talk, which is about leaving my job, right?
So that resurfaced?
It resurfaced.
This is what you was talking about, like, remind me
a big leap
to talk about.
So this is my big leap that I've taken this week, a couple of days back. I'll start off with the story. So as you guys know, I got laid off. obviously it was kind of by choice or whatever it may be. And in this meantime, I've been spending a lot of time in just like deprogramming, just like the way I view things, and just like also realizing like what my purpose is, and realizing it, making it a thing. So that takes a lot of work. That takes a lot of energy, and it's not easy. Finally,
you feel like you're getting there.
Finally, the time came when I got the call back.
Oh, word!
I got the call back on Sunday.
Shit.
I got a call and an email. The call, they left a message, but there was nothing in the message. They left the email asking me if I would like to come, like if I'm ready to come back.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, all right. So normally, if I would get the email like that, like an email, the first time I got the email, the first time I went back, I'm like, my whole world came crashing down. Just because like I know what my purpose is. I know where that fits in my purpose. And I know the sacrifices and everything. Like it was just something that threw me off my flow the first time.
Yeah.
And throwing me off the flow, and me still going in that same vibe, that same, shit. It was a lot, and there was a lot to deal with. So this time around, I get the email, I look at it, I let that shit go. I leave right there. And like, thoughts could creep in my head, but I never dwelled upon any of them. Whereas like, damn, like, what am I gonna do? Should I just go back? It was none of that, because I know I made my decision. The last big talk, and I told you, like, when it pops up, I just gotta be ready for it. I told you that in the last. So I just knew that I was ready for what I was supposed to do, and all the experience that I had from then till now led me to feeling strong in myself, to be like, yo, this is not taking me over me.
Yeah, exactly. That's
right.
I know what you're saying.
So I let it go. That Sunday, I meet up with my boy. We play ball. I seen you that day.
Yeah, we went to get the ball.
Picked up the ball. We played ball. I continue on with my day, with my perfect day. You know what I mean? It's
so that was after you said you got the email?
Yeah.
You went to play ball after?
Yeah, I went to play. Nice. I'm continuing to live the life the way that I want it to be, the way that I envision my life. I'm living it now.
Yeah.
And I was living it then.
Yeah, you were in a good mood. I remember.
Exactly. So
I wouldn't even have told. I wouldn't be able to tell that. Like,
exactly.
You got an email about going back.
Exactly. To it. So I go about my day. I don't bring it up to anybody. I don't bring it up to my girlfriend that's back at home. I don't bring it up to Miguel, my boy that came to play basketball. I go about my day. I'm having I hit the gym that day. I went to play basketball. I'm in the zone. Damn. Nothing's gonna knock me off my zone. Right? So I go about my day. Me and my girl, we end up going to dinner with a couple of her friends.
Yeah.
And man, I have a blast. I have such a good time.
I feel good. You're nothing knocking me down.
I don't think like I've met her friends before, and you know we've had good time and stuff like that. But like I feel like this was the best time. Like that we had together. We all just like were vibing and just like having fun, laughing. It was such a great time. Everybody together. It was just a great experience. And I didn't mention anything, and the thought will creep in my head randomly, like once every few hours, and I'll just bloop,
just like
push it back out. And it's not that I was ignoring it or being ignorant to it. It was just like that's not the biggest part of my life no more, and I'm not trying to give it the importance. Right?
That's fire.
So all right. That day finishes, I go about the day, and the night ends. The next day comes, and it's Monday. I believe I got a call too. No message, or they left the message. I skimmed through the message on my phone, like I just heard a couple words, and I'm like, put that shit away, right? I put it up, go about my day, same thing, vibing, go about my day, making healthy choices. I'm not gonna tell you about my whole Monday.
Yeah.
Tuesday comes, I have a voicemail when I wake up, and I have an email. They're saying, "Yo, if you don't get back to us like before 4 p.m. today, we're gonna consider that you're
gonna forfeit your position."
Yeah, exactly. That you're I'm forfeiting my position. And so I'm like, okay, again, I'm going about my day. I'm not letting none of that shit get to me. Like there's so many thoughts that could come through my head. Like, yo, what will people think? What should I do? Should I just go back? All these things, but like one thing was that I was in my power. I was resting in my power the whole time. I was resting in just me, just living in my flow.
Yeah, just knowing that it's gonna figure itself out. You're gonna figure it out.
I started formulating my email. I didn't know what my email was gonna go, what I was even gonna say. I started formulating it. That's a whole story in itself. But I guess long story short, in the email, I made it as clear as I could. I said, due to reasons for my health, I was gonna explain that my health, but my health is more than just like how I feel internally. It's how I feel internally. It's how I feel mentally. It's how I feel spiritually. That's how I wrote it. Like for reasons due to my health, I won't be returning to I won't be returning to that job that I had. I told them that, and that email left like no stone unturned. It was like I'm not going back. It was for myself and it was for them, and it was. And I explained to them like, yo, thank you for all the opportunities that you have gave. I gave them the gratitude that I do feel for them. The experience, the knowledge that they given me to serve people. Because at the end of the day, it was hospitality. I was
like you said, like on the first episode, like all the memories you had with your friends and stuff at work, your coworkers, it's like guys held each other down and shit. That shit is like, that's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of value in that. Good memories and shit. Yeah,
so I showed my gratitude and I left no stone unturned, no matter what that meant for me. I don't know what's gonna happen next week. I don't know money wise. I'm not sure how that's gonna go. But I just know that right now the way that things are going, everything is lining up. The fact I can't even. There's so many things that I could say right now, but the way that things are lining up, every moment is the proof to me that I'm on the right path. Yo. No matter if it's to that person is a stupid decision that I made. To this person is like no, all chatter from outside and inside is gone.
It doesn't. It's crazy when you feel like when you're in that point where you're in that stage where like it doesn't matter what people say around you. Like like you might think it's stupid. You might look at me stupid or whatever. But
that's also why I didn't tell anybody, even the closest people to me, until I made the decision already. Because although I value everybody around, because everybody around me is a reason they're around me, and they always give me jewels, they always give me gems. You, my girlfriend, whoever's around, they always give me gems. But what I needed at that point was to make my own decision without anybody else putting anything else in the air for me, like without putting what they thought, projecting what they thought on me, because I knew like the only answer I could get was from within.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's only you.
that I could get, but that I needed. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't tell anybody. And we're here,
crazy,
and I feel like it was such a leap of faith that after I sent that email, I went to go play basketball. I kept on with my day. And there was some points where I could feel my emotions, like after doing some cardio, like I felt my heart just like emotions flowing in it and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, interesting. After that, I go outside. I go barefoot on the grass and I'm just chilling.
That's where you were grounding and stuff?
I'm listening. I'm listening to music. I'm just quiet. I'm to myself, and I'm just like, I felt like, okay, and this is the moment where there's a new step. There's a new level that I'm taking in my life, and I knew it. Like there was like I've been in a position like that before where it's like, okay, wow, life is about to take me another step where I need to be. So
right. Like it's crazy. Like we have those leaps and stuff. I don't even think it's a step. It's like a leap. Well, it is a step if you think about it. Like all the small steps you get to get there and stuff. Like freaking you, like just learning about yourself, like getting more into like self-help books and stuff like that. Or even the past few months, like the videos we be sharing, the content that we be sharing with each other, like just talking about like your mentality, your mental health and stuff like that. Like just those things, those small steps led you to make this decision, which now has you somewhere else. I feel like that's what people miss. A lot of the times they feel like it's this one thing that happens and bam, like everything just hits. Like, nah, it's not like that. It's a bunch of steps in within, like it's a bunch of small steps within something that looks like just like one step, but it was a bunch.
The thing is, you have to continue to make those steps because if you fail to do it, or you make a step that somebody else wants you to make or anything like that, that's not necessarily living your truth. You know?
That's fact.
It's also being in tune with.
In
tune with what you were saying, being in tune with yourself, having that intuition where it's like we are the drivers of this vehicle that we have right here. Our spirit is here, and we're driving this body. We're driving our spirit to where it needs to go. And the more we connect with ourselves, the more harmonious the trip becomes.
The trip becomes everything. Just everything in itself will be better. Easier will flow and all that.
But yeah, man, that's
some big talk. That's a good way to start big talk.
That's my leap of faith, guys.
I want to congratulate you for that.
Thank you, man.
That's some big talk, big leap talk right there.
Appreciate it.
Nah, that's fire though. Shit, man. I bet you it felt really good when you did that, right? When you said that, when you
it
just
felt
let
amazing,
it go.
especially knowing, like I said, I left no stone unturned. It was nothing like, oh, I don't want to come back now, but you could reach out to me later on. Just then continue to have that in the back of my head. Whereas I haven't completely cemented my next step. It's more like I took part of a step, but I'm still kind of like iffy about it. No, like this was a step that I took firmly in my truth.
Yeah. Nah, it makes sense, man.
Yeah.
Yo, and talking about that, about you saying, I think you talked about mental health earlier. Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up, although you never really talk about this, but you have a freaking song that is like really good. You remember that one?
Yeah,
What is the title of that one?
Mental Health Day, something
Mental
like
Health, something like that. But it's really good. I think you should put that song out. It's like I was telling you, you started it last year, like before. No, when quarantine started.
It was before that, right? It was the year before that.
Yeah, you're right. Diablo.
I took a mental health day.
Wasn't it like around November though? 19?
Something like that, yeah.
But I know it was like around the time where like, I don't know, like, but I felt like there was something going on that I was telling you. I'm like, yo, people like need to listen to this song now because it's gonna resonate with a lot of people. I don't know if it was like right when COVID started.
It was before. It was way before. But life.
Yeah, just life in general. Yeah, I think it's just people just started.
The rat race is always true. It was always going until COVID. So that was my way of like kind of expressing myself with my own experience in the rat race. And then COVID hit, and that really slowed people down. But it brought a whole new set of problems. So
when you putting that song out,
it's a good question. I gotta tell you this. I'm interested to see your reaction to this, because I know your feelings on work ethic and stuff. So
yeah,
I plan on taking some time to develop my sound. I'm still gonna. Every day is gonna be me working on music, but in terms of releasing music, I'm gonna take a bit of a step back because I want to put out a project, something different than the singles that I've been putting out recently. Which I have a loving relationship with all the singles that I put out recently.
Yeah.
But like I know what I'm capable of. That was just like I put all of me in it, but it was just a part of what I know I'm capable of when it comes to how I use my voice, when it comes to storytelling. When it comes to telling a complete story, like I was putting something into these singles that needed to be put out, but right now, since I am in a very transitional,
you feel like it's time for like a project.
Yeah, and I could still put the project out in a way where it aligns with what's going on today. And by project, I'm not talking about like a 29 song project. I'm talking about like probably an EP, 4, 5, 6 songs.
Yeah, that's fire, man.
And I want to make these songs the best songs that anybody has heard from me yet. So I want to put everything together.
It's new songs that you want to click on this so we could get something. So it's new songs that you are.
Is that?
It's cool. So it's new songs that you already started, or like brand new songs that you haven't even started.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through some songs that I already have that I know that I've been saving for a project. I'm gonna go through them, see how I'm feeling about them, put them on a list of like, okay, these are possible songs that could go on it. But I'm also gonna work on utilizing my new skills and my new taste in the sound that I want. Because a lot of the sounds that I've been using now is like very, very modern, like new school stuff like that. I want to be able to do that while still keeping live instruments, still keeping like the essence of hip hop. Why I started making music, like the boom bap, that like sounds like that. But even the roots of those sounds, like whether it be jazz, whether it be all that, I wanna be able to combine everything and utilize all my skills with all my knowledge and make something that is just
that's fire.
Past what I have done before. And right now I know as my voice continues to grow that. That's what I need to do. So yeah,
I'm down for this. Something like that. Sound interesting.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man. What got you thinking into that? Like you just feel like musically, that's what you wanna like. That's something you wanna venture into right now, or you just like what made you decide to do that? What do you think? Knowing like what we know, where some of the people that might be watching this don't do music, but like the way that we've been like putting out singles for him and stuff like that we discuss is like the best way we've found to like do it for like the past probably few years and stuff, which is the single route. But like Yeah, so like what made you decide on this now?
Just listening to my music from now, some of my old music, and just listening to older music that's not even mine, and how it sounds, and kind of I can't say comparing it, but like just my ear is sensitive to what I like about things. So I was listening to some of my newer stuff. And I love most, if not all, of these songs that I have put out. Like there's something about it that I really love, but the one thing that's missing is kind of like the glue to put it all together.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like the story, real.
You feel like singles, although they tell a story, not to say like it's like like the scattered thoughts, like that. Kind of like if they were like thoughts, they're like thoughts. Like I don't know how to explain it.
It's like putting out a book, but putting out chapters of it at a time.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, okay, some person might come in the 6th chapter and they have to find out about all of it, which is no problem. That's probably makes them even more of a big fan. But like, I would like to put a book in front of them to like just like my truth, which will resonate with them, because I'll be speaking about what got me here, and like speaking about my true experiences all in one place, where it's like, okay, I don't have to search for which chapters after which and after which. Like I got this right here. That's there. You know what I mean? And I'm not worried about like, damn, like, do I got enough supporters to do this or anything like that? Because at the end of the day, the reason why I started making music was not even for other people.
That's crazy, right? Nah, damn, my bad.
No. It wasn't for other people. It was to help me out in a time that I needed it, and it was never to like gain fans. It was never to make money. It was never this.
That's true.
So like it's me just tapping back into, like I was doing what I needed to do with putting out singles.
With the singles, yeah.
Now that I've garnered a very awesome group of supporters. Thank you so much. It doesn't have to be 100 jillion thousand right now.
Yeah.
Right now, it's time to continue. It's time for the book. It's no more chapters. It's time for the book.
To give them all. It's interesting, right? Because it's like, where do you draw the line? Especially like, you know, as an up and coming artist, like, you know, up and coming, you know, you're doing it by yourself type shit. Like there's no label, no backing helping you out with that. So it's like, where do you draw the line where like, you know, this method is working, but let me try this because I just feel like, you know, you got that gut instinct that like, it's time to do that. That's interesting though that you're like in that point, because I feel like looking back at it, maybe like a few months back, a year back, I felt like we always mentioned that, like I always tell you like maybe you should do a small project, this and that, but even that in itself wasn't really like, I felt like the ways that I was telling you about was still more like content driven, because it was still like putting them out quickly. But like the way that you're doing it it's more like, you know, taking a step back, seeing like, you know, getting the overall sound of everything and like the feeling of that.
And it's possible. It's 100% possible.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, obviously this is such a like blown up example, but like people like Kendrick Lamar, people like J. Cole, they don't have to come out with music for the next 5 years. When they come out with music, it's going to be heard by the people that needs to hear it. Me myself, like I'm not. Like the audience that I have right now at this moment is not theirs, but it is following my truth. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's another thing of its own. Is like, damn, like, you know, but the fact that you have the instinct, like, you know, like even if I got like the following that I got now, like it's gonna figure itself out. Like, you know, it's people gonna. First of all, I'm pretty sure like all of your fans are gonna love it. That's one. And then out of that, like, they're going to put on to put more people are going to get put onto that. And then they're going to find your singles. All that. It's just going to trickle down.
And I feel like the energy that I'm putting into truly being myself and truly following my path, all that energy, it's cultivating. And I don't have to worry about how I'm going to get to where I'm going to go, because all that energy is going to bring me to where I need to go.
So let me ask you this, though.
Yeah, what's up?
Paranoia, though, is going to be on that project. It has to, right?
Yeah.
I just asked you the other day.
With me now, yeah.
So Paranoia is like a song that he started. It's pretty dope. Probably what,
I feel like that's kind of like a middle song. That's like a song to like go into another train of thought, because that one is very
like
intense.
Like I brought it up the other day, but I still feel like like I feel like that one's really one for like a project or something like that. But I just like, you know, since we weren't like working on something like that, I just didn't know when you would put it out. But,
we have so many songs, man.
But that one's that one's such a it's really a vibe of its own type shit. Like
I feel like that one's kind of like an interlude.
Yeah, right. It is. But it's fucking crazy. I love that song. You guys are gonna listen to it within a few probably months from this episode.
We have some awesome things that we've worked on, and we don't stop working. So
yeah, that's fire, man. That's true. I mean, I meant to say that's true. I said that's fire, but it's the same thing, man. But it's true, bro. Like sometimes I be looking back at it, I'm like, damn, like, you know, like I told you the other day, like I just took a day off to just be lazy and just be me. Like if I wanted to watch TV, eat ice cream, like whatever the fuck I wanted to do, like just be lazy. And it's like we don't do that enough, but it's like we still feel like, at least to me, I still feel like I should still be doing more. But it's like, you know, it's just it's that rat race type mentality too, like, you know, just getting unstuck, getting out of there. Yeah, and
we've been programmed into that. Like just every day, the grind, 9 to 5. Like again, there's nothing wrong with it, but there has to be a balance. Yeah, there has to be the time that you give yourself to like really regroup and reconnect. You know,
I don't know if I brought this up in the first episode, but like I think I talked about it. I don't remember, but one of the things that I was doing during quarantine is like, you know, I bought myself a bicycle.
Yeah,
and did I talk about my bicycle? No. Yeah, that's my baby. But like, yeah, I bought the bicycle, and it's just like, you know, I started bike riding, just going outside, and it's like low key, like that shit brought up so many memories when I was a little kid growing up, like in Washington Heights, going to Dykeman in my bicycle and my scooter. Whether it was in DR, when I used to wake up, I used to ride my bike like all over like it was like that was like a big part of my childhood, like just being a kid and shit. And like the fact that I got that bicycle like during quarantine, like, you know, around the time where like I think it was like around right before summer hit last year, I'm like, damn, like I missed it so much. Like it felt so good to just be outside, like just ride your bicycle, like just feeling like a kid, like doing those things that like bring you back in tune with like your true essence. Where like, you know, with the rat race and stuff like that, we kind of like got taken away from those things. Like you don't really got time. Like you got 2 days off out of the week, 2 days. If you're lucky, sometimes 1 day off and stuff like that.
How do you regroup what's been done in 5 days for so many years in 2 days a week? And sometimes not even together. All the things you needed to do to survive that you couldn't do while you were in the rat race is like it's the way the way that is built right now isn't built for the
creative and the like
the cultivation of just like people who are in tune with themselves. Like if you're in tune, if there's somebody that out there that's in tune with themselves, it's because they've taken every measure that they could to get there. Not everybody does that. Not everybody is on that type of time. Some people don't even know that is a thing. And that's kind of like a sad part, but it's also like for people who realize it's up to us to like bring it up in people's minds, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. Trying like, you know, whether it's friends, family, or just people you come in contact with, just, you know, just be the best version of yourself that you could bring just to shit. You know, that energy is like, you know, people catch on to that. Like, they latch on to energy. So like, if you just bring your best foot forward and stuff like that, just people that you meet on your regular day life, like, you know, whether you bump into somebody, a neighbor or something like that downstairs.
Speaking on that, I've been having so much fun just walking down the hallway, down the street. Like if I see somebody, like let's say the doorman downstairs, like I'll sit there, I'll talk to them for a little bit. Like, yo, what's up? We have a little conversation I never thought that we would have. Like my most I guess some things that people would take for granted, just going downstairs to get a fucking gallon of milk or whatever it may be. Like I've been enjoying it. The reason why is because like on my way to do it, I'm letting myself do whatever it is. Like talk to somebody like, hey, how you doing? How's your day? Somebody I never spoke to before. Yo, today. This is a quick little story. So there's this guy. He delivers Chinese food, right? Yeah. He's a Mexican dude. He delivers Chinese food. He's delivered multiple times to my apartment. I seen him in the elevator when I was going down the elevator, and me and him have had issues before because he's brought my food, man, fucked up, leaking out all over. Like, and I'm just like, yo, what the like? So I've had issues with him before, and sometimes he'd be like showing up like drunk, you get visibly drunk, to drop off the food and shit like that. You know, whatever's going on in his life. Yeah. Whatever, like, but we've had issues because of that. Like, I don't care. Not that I don't care what's going on in your life, but like, bring my food good and we good. You can do whatever you like in your life. But I seen him in the elevator and we just look at each other, And I like pat him. I'm like, yo, what's good, man? Like in Spanish, I'm like, how you doing? Like, what's up? And then we just start talking. We just connected. And like he knew how he knew me, and I knew once I seen him, mask on and everything, I knew who he was. So we just started talking. I'm like, how you? How's everything? How's your family? Like I never spoke to him like that before. But it was to the point where like we've connected, even if it hasn't been the most positive thing. We've connected before. So it's just like, yo, let me just talk to this dude. So we talking. We get out the elevator. After we get outside, like we kind of part ways. I'm like, all right, man, just like, yo, take care, have a good one. He's like, same thing, igual, whatever. And it's just like, yo, I didn't need to have that conversation. I could have been salty about the shit that's happened in the past.
Like, yo, he messed up my order like 20 times.
I'm just enjoying myself with everything that I do. I'm living every moment like it's a new moment. Like nothing from the past is gonna hinder what's going on right now.
And look at it from his side. Like maybe he is going through some stuff with his family. I know, like, that happens to a lot of immigrants. Like, they come here and they don't have their family with them. That shit. Yeah. You can only imagine how hard that hits you and stuff. You by yourself here. So like maybe he is going through some stuff, and like the fact that you like, it could have gone something completely, like you could have brought that forward, like, oh, like you did this or whatever, held on to that negativity, that that whether it's anger or guilt, whatever it is, but like you could have just brought that forward, but like you chose not to because you knew, like, well, what is that? What good does it do for us? And it's like that could have made his day. Like you never know, like, his week.
And that just goes to just like enjoying every moment. For example, there's sometimes where like I just want to go outside. I don't want to like talk to nobody. That goes more to like when I'm in a certain type of mood. Now I haven't been hitting that mood that much, but it's just like I go down and I'm like, fuck, I gotta say what up to the doorman or whatever, like shit like that. But like now it's like it's not hitting me like that no more. It's kind of like, yo, whatever. Just be in those moments. Don't try to rush through what you have to do. Like the journey is what's the most enjoyable.
You gotta enjoy it. Yeah, it's true.
Exactly. So
man, that's so true.
That's the type of vibe that I've been on.
That's facts, man. Big talk vibes right there. Yo, we should we should be like to any of our friends that do like merch and stuff. You guys want to send some stuff? Like I like wearing hats.
That's a fact. We would love to wear your stuff. Support.
We'll show some love. We're gonna start. Sometimes I got some of my hats and stuff, but I don't got one on today. I think I had one for the first episode, but you got some stuff that you could.
I'm working on some ideas for a general drop for everybody who supports my music. And now that I think about, like, I've been thinking about coming out with a project, it's probably gonna come out joint with the project.
That's gonna be beautiful, yo. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
It's gonna come
just
out
like packaging everything and shit like that.
It's gonna come out joint with the project, and then a few months in the future we have a show in Mexico, and I want a specific drop for that Mexico. I want all my Mexican supporters to be able to just vibe and rock out with me and have a piece of memorabilia from a moment that hopefully they'll never forget. So
what part of Mexico you want to do?
It's gonna be in DF, city of Mexico.
Nice, man.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I'm still working on it. But I'm speaking it into existence completely. Like the plan is.
I'm down for that, man. Like did we discuss? I don't think we discussed the trip we were trying to do to LA in the last episode. But that might not.
That didn't pop up yet.
Yeah, we did.
That was a new idea.
Yeah, but
this
might wait on that.
A whole bunch of things.
I still want to do that trip though. Like
I would love to go. I can't wait to go back to LA. Like
LA was such a vibe,
that trip is happening in the future for sure. LA is always a vibe. LA has been good to me.
What was your favorite part about LA? Like the first time we went to this?
We were flowing.
Everything, right? It was just flowing. Like
every moment was filled with a good time and just like. It was just filled with joy for me. Like
it's crazy.
We felt every moment was something that we enjoyed to do.
But even thinking about it, like when we went to Mexico, like even our Mexico trip, like that's really what we do. We just flow and figure shit out. Like as we go, have some fun. Like we went to the pool, had some drinks, worked, shot some videos. Like enjoy nature. I love Mexico. I want to go back to it.
Yeah, Mexico's a vibe.
Mexico's beautiful. Man.
Can't wait to go back. I was thinking today. I just had a thought like, yo, I should like when we go for the show, should buy a one-way ticket and just like we'll see when we come back. Like not like for real, like not set like a date to come back, but it's like when we feel like coming back, that's when we coming back. That's what I was thinking.
Listen, man,
because we're gonna make some bread out there. Yeah. In terms of just like having the show, there's gonna be some revenue coming in. So. Maybe that revenue can fuel us to have a couple more days, maybe even drive down to somewhere else and experience that. So I'm just with everything in life. I'm remaining open and just like not limiting myself, not limiting my beliefs or anything like that.
Very true. Very big talk. True.
Big talk.
So yeah, let's what you got down there that you want to discuss or any plans or anything?
Okay, here. All right, so on to the next topic, right?
On to the next.
I saw this movie twice already, right? And I recommended this movie to you. I recommended it to you twice. The first time was about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, when we were chilling.
A week ago.
And then I reminded you through text a couple of days ago. A few days before the day we are in now.
When I went to your crib.
Yeah. He
I
was
saw
picking
you for like a few seconds.
He was picking something up in my house, and I reminded him like, "Yo, check this movie out." So, I wanted to ask you. The movie is Snowpiercer for everybody out there who may have seen it. It was a movie that at first while watching it was like, oh, cool movie. But like later on, not even like thinking about it or whatever, the movie popped up in my head and it was just like, wow, like that movie had a big impression on me. And I was like, yo, I like to share this with somebody. I was talking to Lewis, so I told him about it so you could watch it. So I wanted to ask you, like, what are your thoughts on that movie? Like, what do you feel about Snowpiercer?
Well, if I could remember, well, the movie was great in itself. Like, I really liked it. But there's honestly no bad buts about it. It's just, I feel like it was a lot to, like, kind of, like, take in. Although, like, it seems simple, like, oh, like, you know, a train. Like, you know, like, okay, people at the back of the train, people at the front of the train. Like, it kind of, like, it sounds really, like, what is it called? A hierarchy of what what we've been following for years.
Like
the
system.
Just, as humans and stuff. That, like, you know it. Like, you know it from the beginning. Okay, this is what this is. But, like...
Just like the parallel to it.
Yeah, that and like just
poor and rich.
That and just everything that happened in it, like the rebellion, you know, just trying to get to the front of the train, trying to live the life that they live.
Yeah.
People up there not knowing what's going on back there, like all those things. But at the same time, like when the person got there, like, you know,
it wasn't what they expected.
Yeah, it wasn't that, and it's like it's similar to like what we experience now. That it's like. A person might get there, they might get put on, or they might bust their asses to get to a stage in life. And it's like, I felt like he was given the decision, like, whether you want to be a part of this and continue the thing going, the engine going, or do you want to, like...
Be the real.
Yeah, you want to, like, kind of, like, break this shit down because you know there's a lot of things wrong with this. Yeah.
It's a lie.
Crazy, right?
What was going on outside? We could talk specifics because we both seen the movie.
I feel like that's why it was like so much. It's like, damn, there's a lot of what's going on and like what goes on in real life.
It's parallels. It's like breaking out of the given paradigm that we're in. Some of these people were born on that train. Some of the poor people in the back were born on the train, so all they knew was the train. So they had no experience of what things could be like and things like that. But then as the movie progresses, they get to the front. We already seen like we seen what happened with like the guy who was running it. It was just like just fucked up shit. The guy had like kids down there running the motors, which in its own, I feel like is its own like parallel, which I'm not even gonna get into because that's going into like conspiracy theories and shit, and we don't gotta don't gotta go there.
It's a lot. That's a lot in itself. Like just that part in itself, I'm like, what? Okay,
exactly. So then when they end up blowing up, like they find out that the snow, like that's just melting. We can survive outside. We don't have to. We don't have to do it their way. We can do it our way. For me, that was resonating. That was like breaking out of those limiting thoughts. Like back to what we were talking about. This is the only
way for you to like. Is this like we going here and like we all emotion at the same time. Yeah. Like you're gonna be emotion, but you're gonna be within this capsule
paradigm.
Which is, yeah, exactly.
So for me, that really resonated with me. Like, just breaking out and just like making your own conclusion and living the life that you want. Like at the end of the day, he lived his truth. I think he died at the end because he didn't come out. It was only the little boy and the daughter.
And the daughter.
It's kind of like he kind of paved the way and took sacrificed himself, sacrificed almost the whole train. Probably passed away, but these two people. One young, one a little bit older, like
to start like a new life type thing,
the new parent, like yo, we're starting this shit over. Like we're not living by what the past is. We could respect the past and utilize it, but we're gonna move forward. We're gonna move out of this paradigm that they were suppressed into that paradigm at a certain point. and they're talking about order. They're talking about, oh, this is the way it is. You're in the back, we're in the front. But like,
and the kids, how they were being brainwashed and all that.
And how whatchamacallit, they were killing people to keep
up population control.
So that there's enough food and stuff for everybody.
Everything in that movie, yo. Everything was in that movie.
Yeah, so they
the
keep
food, yeah.
So it's like, yo, they were artificially keeping life alive rather than life be life, and that's not the way to live life. The way to live life is be free. Like what happened at the end. I didn't like I remember I told you, like, yo, you either gonna like the end or not like the end. At first I was like, whatever. And then when I actually think of the symbolism, that shit is beautiful. The ending of how they walked out.
Which part you didn't like? Oh, like when the train exploded and stuff.
Train
you
exploded.
Like the ending.
No, not even that. Like how they walked out. They see a polar bear. Movie done. For me, that was like, what the fuck? At first, the first time I watched it, and then when I started thinking about it before, when I told you the impression just came, I'm just like, yo, like, that's a beautiful ending, because it's just like, there's more to come.
It like, I feel like that scene in itself shows like, just like you were saying, like, let life be life. Like the polar bear symbolizing life, nature.
Yeah, there's life outside. He's surviving.
Now you motherfuckers want to like live life how you're supposed to, instead of like being in that encapsulated in that train. But also like, a part that, like, as you were talking about it, like, that came to my mind, like, when the guy, with him and the daughter, when he's like, oh, come see, like, you know, when he points at the plane, that later he explains that it's been losing the snow.
Yeah.
Like, don't you notice, like, don't you find it interesting that could be, like, a symbolism for, like, because, you know, the train, first of all, the people in the back, they don't even see daylight. They ain't see none of that. So the fact that they were, like, further ahead because they were fighting, they got to see daylight, right? But he has seen that before, like that plane before, because he looked out the window before. Dude, yeah.
So he knew the signs.
Yeah, exactly. Like, isn't it interesting how even that in itself is symbolism for, like, yo, sometimes like life gives you the signs, and it's like you gotta be like vigilant, like you gotta pay attention to these things.
Be aware, and also like making connections with others, because if they didn't make the connection with him, they wouldn't have got as far as they did.
But even him himself, like you could compare it to like him being in tune with himself. Just knowing, like, just how you were talking about how, like, you know, the opportunity came for you to go back, and you was like, nah, because this is what I feel right now. He probably felt like, you know, as part of, like, the movie, him looking outside, he's like, maybe I want to, like, there's something that is attracting me. Like, I think I talked about it in the first episode. Like, there was something, it's like that pull that you got for something, and it's like, maybe he was curious about that. Then he noticed, like, yo, every year this shit is, like, this is happening. So it's just, like, it's just how, like, it happened with you, that you just picked it up at the,
picking up the signs
at the right time.
And moving with them,
the intuition. Because you're flowing with it and shit. That's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah,
but yeah, because imagine if he wouldn't have done that. Like, he wouldn't, like you said, he connected with them. He was able to share the idea and stuff to him, and together they were able to break through of that, and then, you know, that happened.
That's why I love that movie.
Was dope, though.
I saw it again this past weekend. I was watching it. Yeah,
probably watched it around the same time. I think I watched it Saturday. And I was watching.
I probably saw like the day after that, but I watched it just because I after I thought about the movie, I'm like, yo, I want my girlfriend to see this. Like, to see what happens with her, see if she likes it or whatever it may be. And I saw that she was into it in certain points. So I'm like, okay, there's something about this movie that's resonating with her. Yeah. It may not be as deep as, like, I go, like, she may not just be thinking about making inferences in her own life and things like that, but it is something that just, like, it'll just
spark the
spark something, you know what I mean? So I always love sharing, because I know as I share, it helps people, and also I've been so lucky to have people in my life that share with me. Whether it be you sending me videos on YouTube that it may take me 3 weeks to get to, but when I get to it, it's like I needed it at that moment, and guess what? You helped me, you shared with me, and you knew that I would make a connection with it, because we have that type of connection.
That's true, right?
And we're able to share with each other in that way. That shit is beautiful.
Yeah, I find that good when somebody sends you, like, you know, if a friend sends you like a video that, if it's like self-help or something like that, or like just mindfulness or whatever, I feel like you should take the time just to, like, you know, look at it. Because we take so much time to, like, just watch bullshit on IG.
Yo,
it could be somebody twerking or a fight or like a fire or something.
That shit keeps you in the rat race too, because now you're racing to keep up with all the content.
Yeah, like, yo, I think I don't know if I talked about it in the first episode either. I don't know anything we spoke about in the first episode. I guess that shit was like a blur to me, but like, yeah, like I signed off social media, like, you know, IG. I haven't been doing it from Twitter and Snapchat because I don't be on it too much, but like I sign off IG every night. But like, Because I just don't want to wake up with the anxiety, like, yo, I got like 6 DMs that I got to answer. Or like, I don't want to like make the mistake by mistake, you know, because we're programmed where like you open your phone, you go straight to IG. You didn't even want to, or like you don't have nothing to do. You just pull up your phone, go to IG or somewhere. Like
it kind of starts your day off kind of empty instead of you making your day.
Right?
It's like you're catching up with your day.
Yeah, like now I'm behind. Like now I gotta catch up on this, and it's like I don't even want to see that for the first few hours of my day. Like just let that shit.
That's such a smart move.
When I feel like I'm ready, then I sign on social media. Then I'm like, okay. And
that's
then
the vibe that I've been on too now. Yeah. Like I'll get up, I'll do my meditations, I'll do my affirmations. After that, now what I started doing is reading a book. I'll read the book about my vocals, or I'll read a different book that I'm reading.
In the morning.
Yeah, and I'll read like a chapter. I'll be kind to myself. I'm not gonna be there for 3 hours. Like, oh shit. That's also forcing shit. So I read a chapter.
True, yeah.
All right, now it's on to the next part of my day. Now let me practice my voice. I could sign on in the middle, real quick, check to see if there's anything important. All right, I'm done. Boom. Get back to my business day and my learning day.
Yeah, that's enough. So remember the video I sent you about flow, positive flow and negative flow, whatever. Like auditing your day at the end of the day, like what are the things that I did that wasn't flow, and some of the things that I did that took me out of flow. It's basically like an exercise that we could do at the end of the day. So like as I was doing that, like I had a few days. I actually had a bunch of days that like I'll go through my day and I'm like, yo, but my day was great. Like I was flowing through my whole day. Like I did all the stuff I wanted to do. Whether it was mixing, recording, or doing laundry, doing stuff at home, cleaning the crib, like going to the gym. Like I'll do those things and then I'll be like, you know, because you got to put those things like, okay, things that I was doing while I was in flow, jog them down. And then things that you did that took you out of flow. I started realizing, I'm like, yo, but my days are really good. It's just the only thing that I find that takes me out is phone usage. And it's usually like, it could be something like I'm loading up a project. I pick up my phone. There, I fall out of it because something happened.
I call myself something similar to that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, damn, I'm like, yo, but like, the only thing is the phone usage. And it's like, if you could just limit that, you know, because sometimes you could have your little leisure. Like, you go on, like, all right, let me check IG, like, and shit.
And it's muscle memory, too. Because, like, let's say while you're waiting for something, your muscle memory is like, reach.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Reach.
Yeah.
All right, I'm waiting for this. I have some time to go through it. But guess what? There could be, but that shit's already loaded and you're still, okay, I got everything that I needed from this. Oh, not yet.
Wait, there's something else. Oh, wait, now I got to check Twitter, though.
Oh, and I found this. Let me go do a little bit of research on this real quick.
Yeah. Oh, and I got an email
connected to this. And then it becomes a cycle.
I remember
it's so much information.
Yo, you sent me that video I gotta watch. Let me go watch the video now. Like some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it just. But I've learned even that in itself. Like what I do sometimes when I put my phone on charge is put that shit like I be having the portable charger. Sometimes that is a trap in itself because you can put that shit right next to you. Just throw that shit on the couch or something.
I be catching myself like I caught myself a couple times the other day where I was doing some vocal exercises and it was getting a little bit difficult. It's getting a little bit difficult. So then I paused it to go back. But once I pause it, I kind of reach out like, let me do this real quick, and then I'll get back to it. And I each time I call myself, I'm like, yo, it's just because it's getting hard. You wanna like give up and do something else.
That should be happening.
Like, fuck that. Like I told myself like, nah. I call myself mad times doing that. Never once picked it up. I'm like, all right, bet. I finished all my exercises, and then I'm like, all right, now I can do whatever the fuck I want real quick, and then I'll get back to the next thing that I need to do.
Isn't it funny though? Like sometimes like. I feel like when you start catching yourself for like having those thoughts or like having those impulses, like a part of you sometimes is like nice to yourself, like yo, like nah, like don't do that, like just focus on this, get this task done. But sometimes you're like, yo, you being a bitch, like you trying to like what you did, like you were saying, like this is getting difficult, so now you go into your phone,
that was literally my self-talk at that point.
Sometimes that like you got that like mentality that is like it puts you on.
But it's real.
Yeah, it gets you on check, like yo, like nah. Like, but sometimes you need that, like. That's crazy, man. It's all about having balance.
Balance, man. Balance is key. That balance is key. I feel like there was another question that I wanted to ask you.
So what was the last thing we were talking about? I forgot.
Snowpiercer. We started talking about Snowpiercer.
Oh yeah, we both discussed it. So
yeah, Snowpiercer. Yeah, that's everybody. If you haven't seen Snowpiercer yet, watch Snowpiercer. There may be something in it that resonates with you. There's a bunch of movies that
on Netflix until
the 30th.
The end of the month.
Yeah.
Maybe
so you should definitely check it out.
By then,
we know it's fire. I went live one day.
You talked about it?
I was asking like, yo, I want to watch something before going to sleep. What do you recommend? A bunch of people gave me a few recommendations. I saw Snowpiercer was one of them. For one of my supporters, I can't remember who it was.
Shout out to that person.
Shout out to you.
Look at that. They put you on. You put me on.
And it's all sharing. Yo, speaking about sharing, just to get back to that, like, yo, we're all, this is a collective experience. We're not doing this shit alone. Even if you spend all day alone, you're not doing this shit alone, because somebody grows the groceries that you're eating.
All right.
There's always somebody involved in your life, whether you know it or not. But back to just sharing with each other. I had a great experience the other day when I went to Whole Foods and I was shopping for things for my juicing. I've been juicing a lot recently, so I have a whole cart. It's mostly all veggies and a few like things like shrimp and stuff like that. Like just a few, but all veggie groceries. So I get to the front. I'm in front of the guy who's helping me, and then I could just sense that he was just like kind of like, shit, there's a lot of fucking like veggies. So at a certain point, I'm like, you probably guessing like why I got so much green. I started explaining to him that I've been juicing and stuff like that. And the whole time he's like listening and interested while he's working. And then I'm just telling him like, yeah, like there's been days where like I'll eat something and it's not even nothing like crazy and my stomach will hurt. And I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? So I noticed that that's my body telling me that I need to make some sort of change. And I remember that in the past, I've tried vegan, I tried juicing before, and those have both been things that helped me. So I'm like, you know what? Let me do my own thing now. Whatever my body's calling me, let me start juicing twice a day, and then eat one big meal. That's mostly what I've been doing. At the end of it, he was like, yo, like not for none of this conversation, like it has helped me, it's inspired me, because I do be feeling like that sometimes, where like my stomach will hurt for no reason. I'm getting to a point also where like I wanna lose some weight. So like juicing, that sounds like a really good idea. And we said like fire. I was like, yo, what's your name? He gave me his name. We bonded, and we like, yo, he's like, yo, hopefully next time I have some good news to tell you. Like, so like hopefully I'm on it by then. I'm like, yo, dope. And then afterwards, he was like, yo, thank you. And I'm like, yo, like, at the end of the day, bro, we're all I told him straight up, like, yo, we're all just sharing. Like, this is our experience. Like, we're sharing, and let's continue to do shit like this. Like, be open. That's just true, to have a conversation with somebody that you're in two completely different places in your life, but you're able to make a connection through wellness and through taking care of yourself and it's being human.
And what better connection than that? And like you helping, like giving him gems on like his health. Like how does that not like that multiplies times 1,000 like later on, you know, if he does make those decisions.
He could help somebody else.
Even if he doesn't, like that's is gonna be in the back of his mind. Like, you gotta remember having this conversation.
And it may be something that he picks up on years from now. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we have the duty to serve. We have the duty to help each other out. And if you're not doing that, I feel like you're not living your fullest potential, because what feels better than seeing somebody around you, or not even around you, just seeing people prosper.
A random stranger, like stranger you don't even know, like.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy, man. That's dope. Did you tell him how to make some of the juices, like the good one you be doing with the pineapple and stuff like that?
Nah.
I should have put him on. He'll probably get hooked on that.
I might have mentioned like one, but like for me it was all just trial and error to see what I like the most and shit like that. So I feel like for people should probably do that first and see what they enjoy most. Like you'll make one that tastes like fucking shit, and then you know like, okay, I don't want to make that one.
Yeah, I remember when I was juicing. I juiced like for 4 days in a row. That shit was dope.
That was it was only juice. It was a juice fast.
Yeah. I remember my brother used to tell me like, yo, like you shouldn't do that because you're gonna lose your muscle mass. And I was still doing cardio when I was drinking that shit.
Me and you did it together. That was the time we did it. I think I did like 3 days or some shit like that. I don't remember how many days. Oh shit, my bad.
I know. It got really difficult like by the second, third day. You got headaches and stuff because your body's getting, having withdrawal from like sugar, salt, all those things. Like your body's just having withdrawals from.
Yeah, and your body's getting rid of all the unnecessary shit. I'm fucking hot. Yeah, so we're back.
I felt good though, going to the bathroom.
Yeah, it was a nice little rest. I'm starting to feel a little bit tired. My body is like getting used to going to sleep a little earlier now.
Well, it is 4:41. It's about that time we take a nap.
True.
I've been napping a lot these days. I didn't know how much I enjoy napping until shit.
I did nap the other day. Yo, I napped. I put some food to heat up. And I was mad tired. I played ball and I worked out that day. And I got back home. I put my food to heat up. I was mad. It was gonna be my first like meal.
Yeah.
So I put the food to heat up. It heat up mad quick. So I put it mad low. And then I went to my bed, knocked the fuck out for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I got up. I was like, yeah, the food gotta be ready now. I got up, got my food, started eating, chilling.
Damn, you crazy. If I would have done that, the food would have burned or something.
This shit would have spontaneously combusted.
I would have slept for like 2-3 hours.
Yeah, that shit felt good though. It definitely did.
What I be doing is like, I get on the floor to like stretch my legs or something, like my back, or like with the softball, just rolling it, and like I end up getting sleepy and I just stay on the floor and take a nap.
I feel you on that.
But yo, I like taking naps on the floor because like I feel like the floor, since it's leveled, sometimes it helps like getting rid of some kinks and stuff in your back or your legs.
Gotta check that out.
Like you wouldn't normally get on the bed because the bed is soft, so it conforms to your body, which is good. It's comfortable, but like sometimes you need like a hard surface to put pressure, and like kind of like help with the blood flow.
Interesting. I've been using the ball like sometimes.
Yeah, that ball is fire.
I'll be sitting on the computer chair and I'll put one like behind me and just kind of like play around with it while I'm doing something. Or when I'm laying in bed watching TV, I'll put it like under my ass, like one of my ass cheeks and shit like that. And it's kind of like,
yo, right? There's a lot of tension that we get back here from just sitting on the computer chair, bro.
I put it on my lower back too.
Lower back, like buttocks.
Yeah.
And all that like goes to your leg, and then like you get bad flow in your legs or like your feet, like all that affects. Yeah, even notice a lot of that affects your jaw, your teeth. I'm like, damn, like everything is connected. Like when you do the stuff with your feet, notice that like sometimes like you feel, at least me, like I feel stuff around my jaw and my teeth and like my face, like muscles that like contract and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think like some of the things that you're like working on there, they're somehow connected to like
you're relieving that stress. Yeah, that locks up certain body body parts. Like the book that I'm reading, the freeing, it's called Freeing the Natural Voice, and they like I'm only like on the 3rd chapter, but they're talking about how just like through life, it's like shit happens where like we lock up in certain parts of our body, and like we like store shit that's not needed, emotions or whatever it may be, and what was I gonna say?
That stays in your body.
That stays in your body, and that constricts your voice. And some people, I don't know. I've been looking at the voice as something like different than what I used to. Like the voice is like your, like for me, the way I look at it is like it's like your truth. It's your soul coming out in words and stuff. Yeah. So like if there's things constricting your voice, and there's energy that there's blockage, that's limiting the fullness of your being. You know what I'm saying? Like that you're living outwardly and even internally, experiencing internally. So that's one thing I've been noticing. Like, the voice is much more than just like me talking or these pretty sounds. It's like it's pure expression. And if certain parts are locked up, some people can't even express how they feel because they don't know. They can't articulate. And articulation comes from your lips, your tongue, everything working. That's
true.
Like,
makes sense, yeah.
And they're talking about like facial features, like some people, how their face, they have no expression because they locked it in. They don't want people to know how they feel and stuff like that. And that affects how you speak, like whether you speak in like a bassy or you speak like higher. Like it shit is so. I gotta lend you the book after.
It's crazy.
But yeah, man, life. There's so many intricate things to life that is like, I want to dedicate my life to learning about this and living the fullest version of it,
Just how like there's so many places in Earth to visit and stuff like that you just want to like
can't wait to travel the world. But I have a question for you. This is the last question of the podcast.
Oh man,
there's gonna be a boo track in the background.
Nah, that's good. I feel like each episode we got to keep it to a certain length to make it juicy and stuff. Right, we don't go too much off track.
So here's the last question. If you were to give one piece of advice to the viewer, we're gonna do this every episode at the end. If you were to give one piece of advice to the viewer right now that you feel like could help them out, what is that piece of advice?
To the viewer, it depends. Who's the viewer?
Whoever's watching it. Whatever you feel right now.
I feel like with what we've been discussing the whole episode, even in the first episode, like just being yourself, like being in tune with yourself when it comes to like making decisions. Like we always talk about this, like like we've been doing it like for not like we in general, but like you and yourself. Like just think about times that you felt like you had a difficult thing to deal with, and you figured it out. Like or like you thought you wasn't even gonna get this far in your life, and you figure it out, and like you still here, like you blessed. Like I feel like of course, like each of us we got some of us got a more difficult hand to deal with and stuff than others because of life circumstances and all that. But at the end of the day, if you're still here, like, it means that you still have a purpose. And it's like, sometimes I feel like, especially with society nowadays, like we could be that purpose that you might be here for could be like it gets confused. Like you get confused and stuff because of everything that's going on in society, and like, oh, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that, and like now we're here chasing money and stuff because obviously, like, you know, we need money to survive, to pay bills and all those things. But it's like if you somehow get in tune with yourself and you find that purpose, like, you know, just follow that, and it's like everything's gonna figure itself out. Whether it's money issues, health issues, and stuff like that, like, you know, just trust that you got that stuff within you that, you know, will always help you figure it out, type shit.
I feel that.
What about you?
My piece of advice is continue to cultivate your relationship with yourself. It goes back to what he's saying, just like making that connection with yourself where you know that you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're following your purpose. You're following your path. But it's to the point where it's just like, be kind to yourself. Make that relationship with yourself and continue to cultivate it, because every day is going to grow and every day is going to be a better day that you're going to know more and more each day what you have to do in order to live the best version of yourself or live the highest potential of yourself. True. So that's my piece of advice. Continue to cultivate your relationship with yourself and cultivate it in a positive, loving way, because essentially that's what our essence is. So right. Yeah, that's my piece of advice. Big talk. Realest podcast in the multiverse. We love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Big Talk episode 2. Signing out.
Peace out, guys. Next time.
It's lit.
It's fire, man. Good shit.